Sharpen this electric chainsaw blade. The saw is unplugged, safety first, and I'm going to put on some leather gloves. Blades can be really sharp, and I'm going to protect my hands. And I'm using a file with a guide on it. It's got the angle to hold it at, and then this has a 5/32 diameter blade or diameter on the file. So then these angle indicators here, I want to line that up with the blade, and then I want to keep this angle perpendicular to the blade, so this pretty much level horizontally and then the blade vertically that way. And there's a cutting tooth right there. Zoom in on that. As far as it goes, and there's a cutting part here, and then there's one underneath this also. So I'll line up the file, holding on to the bar, and I want to tilt this down, resting on the blade, and then get my angle correct, and then just push away from me, pushing that way. I don't want to go back and forth like this, I just want to go one direction. 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is shined up there, and I'm going to go with that. I used to work with a guy who basically was a lumber guy. That was his job, and when he was using a gas chainsaw, every tank of gas, he'd get out his file, chainsaw blade file, sharpen his blade, and just by keeping that sharp, if the work is hard, it cuts faster, which means more money. So I've done that ever since he told me that a long, long time ago. I'm going to carefully move this blade up, next position, get everything lined up this way, the angle's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, whoops, 5. And I'll go all the way around, and then I can tell the first tooth I did, which is over here, how shiny it is. The one that's dull, I don't know if you can see it right here, it's not shiny. I'll show you here. 2, 3, 4, 5. There, now that's shiny. So I'll finish that later, and that's a turn the saw around this way. Let me zoom back out. Whoops. Then I do same thing basically on the other side. Hold on to the bar, get my angles all correct. I'm parallel to the blade there on the guide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I'm going to do one more. And the number of times sharpening that or strokes kind of depends on how dull the blade is and things, how it's cutting. This one, actually I found this saw on the side of the road, and the owner was there and he said, I was going to grab it to scrap it for copper. And he said, the saw works, but he goes, it's so dull it doesn't even cut. And he goes, I don't know how to sharpen it. I'm like, oh, score. So grab the saw. These are 50, 75, $100, depends on brand, but grabbed it. So then I'll go all the way around on this angle, so I get every single one of these cutting teeth sharpen. One thing I've checked is there's different diameter files. Looks like 5/32, 3/16, 5/32, 7/32, 3/16, depending on these different chains. So crucial that that is the right diameter so that it fits into that tooth to file the whole thing. This is on the back of a file guide and Swiss-made file. It's Oregon brand. Something to look at, and be sure you have the correct file. Be sure and check out my other videos.